My name is Allan Ngari, and I am the Africa Advocacy Director at Human Rights Watch, and based in our office in Johannesburg, South Africa. And over the past 3 days, we have been here in Lusaka, Zambia, with a group of civil society organizations drawn from various countries across the continent. And the main purpose of the meeting was to identify cases that could potentially come before human rights mechanisms on the continent, either the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, or even the African Court on Human and People's Rights, related to children's rights and business and their engagement in business. I think what stood out for me these past 2.5 days has been just the intersection between corporate responsibility, accountability, and the rights of children. And I think it's an area that we often find quite neglected. Zambia is a classical example of a country that experiences a lot of mining, the critical minerals process in the country, and the mining process of these critical minerals interfaces with not just children but the general population at large. And unfortunately, there has been serious violations on the rights of children, people as a whole. And so having an opportunity to discuss the sorts of remedies that could be availed through strategic litigation as a tool for advocacy has been quite useful this past 3 days. So I look forward to engaging more on this matter. As Human Rights Watch, we've been documenting the lead poisoning in Kabwe over a number of years, and in addition to the actual poisoning from the lead deposits in Black Mountain, we're now seeing further contamination of Kabwe through what has been described by the locals as scavenging on Black Mountain. So the lead deposits are being further mined so that further refinement of the lead could be used. Yeah, I think what stood out in all regions of the continent, whether it's in North, South, East, Central, is what we call the race to the bottom, which is that African states themselves are lowering the standards, the human rights standards and various other standards that are meant to protect our people from the exploitation that happens from business activities. This is rampant throughout. The challenge is that these laws themselves, the African laws, are not responding sufficiently to corporate companies' excesses. And this is something that is quite clear from the different participants in this workshop. And I think to perhaps sum it all up in saying that we need more action from institutions nationally and regionally to really curb these violations by multinational companies that have made $1 billion profit from the extractives, from the agricultural sector and various other resource sectors in the continent at the expense of African people and the lives and livelihoods of African people. So that is something that definitely needs to be addressed at the national level with national human rights institutions, but as well as civil society taking action in court.
All right. So what is your call of action?
Call for action is very simple, that we should actually get our states to, one, ensure that there's minimum standards that are maintained. This is very clear in international human rights law. It doesn't change. Watering down our laws and standards and guidelines in order to attract foreign direct investment is not the way to go. We need to ensure that our laws are tight, and so ensuring that these companies operating on the continent are held to account, but governments as well need to be held to account. They are the primary duty bearers for business in the continent.